Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday to you. I am the official urban therapist. I appreciate you tuning in on this good, interesting Friday. Now, I welcome y'all to my edition of LunchTime Conversations. I know it been a minute since I did one of these episodes during the lunch hour, but I'm doing it today, and I feel very excited about this particular topic that I'm gonna share with y'all today. Now, I also like to welcome my audience. They're tuning in with me on TikTok, as you can see up here on the monitor here. I welcome my audience who are tuning in to me on TikTok, and I also welcome you as well who are tuning in, watching me from my other platforms, which that is on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, I believe, too, as well. So, just like I say, I'm not going to be very long with this lunchtime topic conversation, but I do want to share this topic with y'all because this is another interesting topic that someone talked to me about, or someone shared this with me. I'm going to share it with y'all as well too. Now, that's a little quick background about me. I am attending school to try to be a sociologist and a psychotherapist. But before me making the decision to do this, uh, I used to be a associate pastor. My whole, actually, majority of my career, I used to be a associate pastor, associate Christian pastor to be exact. So I was in the Christian ministry for a little over probably about 15 years or so, somewhere around there. Um, so I served under the Christian ministry for a while, for roughly a while. Hey, PMP, welcome, brother. So yeah, I served under the Christian ministry for a little over 15 years, somewhere around there. And before I left out of the Christian ministry, I was an associate pastor. Now, I remember when I was in the Christian ministry. I remember one of the message that I was teaching the congregation, and I preferably, the youth side of the congregation. I was teaching them about using God's name in vain. So today, I want to share with y'all about the meaning of using God's name in vain. Now, this is not going to be like one of them type of things. I'm going to pull out a Bible, I'm going to quote scriptures to you, anything like that. And I'm going to show you my personal perspective about what it means to actually use God's name in vain, because I believe that um, a lot of people don't even don't even realize when they do use God's name in vain and what do it mean. I could tell you right off the bat that a lot of people believe that using God's name in vain simply means to either use profanity or to cuss or swear, any of them type of things, and they believe that that's what it means to use God's name in vain, versed on a Christian Bible perspective. But by me doing research and diving deeper into this, I learned that using God's name in vain doesn't necessarily mean that at all. Now, here's my perspective about using God's name in vain. Now, my perspective of using God's name in vain is this: using God's name in vain is simply when you use your words or you communicate it to someone in a negative aspect and co-signing God into it. Let me say again, using God's name in vain simply means that you're communicated to someone in a negative aspect and you co-sign God name into it. Let me give y'all an example. Say for example, you having an argument with a person, right? And you're having this argument with this person, right? And so you end up saying that God told me to tell you that He want me to do harm to you. That's an example of using God's name in vain. You're basically co-signing God into your communication or to your personal actions. That's what it actually means to use God's name in vain. So the reason why I'm talking to y'all about this topic today, because many of us, we honestly do use God's name in vain for our actions. One moment at a time, we say that, we are Christians, so we believe in we believe in God, we believe in, God and all these different things, right? But One moment we say that, but in the next moment we try to do harm towards each other. Then co-sign and say that God told you to do these things. Once again, y'all feel that God told you to do these certain things. That's the whole point of using God's name in vain. That's the whole point of it. So I want to encourage y'all today to use your words wisely. Whatever it is that you say, use your words wisely, because just like when I did my whole teaching about communication and stuff, right? Your words are powerful. It either has the ability to either help someone, or it has the ability to destroy someone, depending on how the way you use your words or communication, especially in this particular situation. And it's just that simple. You know what? Another example of using God's name in vain is one of the biggest things that I totally disagree with, and it's when people who practice the Christian faith or the Christian belief, they don't necessarily practice their faith or their belief. And this is not only just Christianity, but it could be different beliefs. It could be Islam, it could be Buddhist, it could be any other type of belief that you believe in, any type of religion that you believe in. It could be any of these type of religions. Another big thing about using God's name in vain is that you're not practicing what you're preaching. So if you claim any one of these belief systems, if you claim any one of these type of belief systems, and you're not practicing what you're believing in, that's another form of using God's name in vain, because you're not practicing what you're preaching, or you're not practicing. In other words, you're not making your lifestyle reflect into wherever you believe in. Like, say for me, for example, I'm more of a spiritual person. I believe in more spirituality. I do believe that there's a creator. I believe that we are connected to the source, which is the creator. I believe in that. Now, my lifestyle should reflect what I believe in. So everything that I believe in, everything I practice in, it should be a reflection of that. And that's what I do every single day. I make my own lifestyle be a living reflection of whatever it is that I believe in. Likewise, if you say that you're a Christian, and you say that you believe in God, you say that you believe in Jesus, or believe in any of these things that your belief teaches and practices, you should be a stewardship of the belief that you believe in, period. There's another thing that's going on right now where people think that their belief system doesn't have no judgment or no condemnation on them. I disagree with that. Wherever you believe in, there is a certain type of judgment behind it too. So wherever it is that you believe in, whatever that is that you're practicing, there is a judgment part about it as well that you have to that you got to practice. So you're held accountable for whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be an atheist. You could be an actual atheist who don't believe in God or whatever. But even the atheist is a form of a belief system. And if you're not practicing what you're preaching, you're not walking your walk and talking your talk, and wherever that belief system is, even with being an atheist, then you're going to be held accountable for that belief system. And that's what I believe in. So it don't matter what it is. And just like I say, these different things are a form of using God's name in vain. These different forms are using God's name in vain. So when you talk bad against someone, say for a person that you're in a disagreement, or you just flat out don't like that person, when you talk against that person, you are using God's name in vain. Especially when you use the terms that God said this, or God told me to do this certain thing. You are using God's name in vain. So I want to encourage y'all today in this lunchtime conversation is to be wise about the certain words that you speak or the certain words that you say. Even with your conversations, be wise about that. Because at the end of the day, it does come back. You reap whatever you sow. It is just simple. And I know this saying is in, a Christian belief, but this saying is in every type of one belief system that you could possibly believe in. You will reap what you sow. So if you sow something that's good for people, it's gonna come back good. If you sow something that's bad for people, it's gonna come back bad. And it's just as simple. And the reason why I know this because this is all part of the law of the universe, period. It's all a part of what people call karma. It's all part of cause and effect. So am I telling you that you should be this good person every single time? That ain't what I'm saying. Because we know at the end of the day, there's really no such thing as a good person all the time or a bad person all the time. But what it is, people are balanced. Sometimes people are considered good, depending on other people's perspective. Sometimes people are considered bad, depending on other people's perspective, how the way they view it or how they view you. So what I'm saying is that even within that, you have to practice what you preach. You have to have balance in what it is that you believe in. And most of all, don't use God's name in the mix of whatever it is that you're doing, especially in a negative way to try to promote this. And just like I was saying earlier about, certain preachers that do this, hey, y'all notice that it'd be like certain preachers or teachers, they'll come to you and they'll say, oh man, God told me to tell you that you should do X, Y, and Z, or you should do this, that, and that. That is also a form of using God's name in vain. That is also a form of using God's name in vain. Not understanding the whole concept that at the end of the day, all of us have a connection with the Creator. God doesn't necessarily have a favorite person that he had this go-to person where he got to talk to this one go-to person just so he could relay a message to everyone else or relay a message to you. No, all of us have the same type of connection to the Creator, period. The same way how that preacher could go and pray and get revelation, divine understanding from God, you could do the same exact thing as well. But when you go back and try to manipulate a person, tell my God told me to tell you that you should give me money or any of these different type of aspects, right? You are using God's name in vain. And yes, that is a negative behavior when you do that. Because at the end of the day, it's not benefiting God that you're doing that. It's only benefiting you. It's benefiting you and you only in a selfish mentality or a selfish way. So yes, I want to encourage y'all in this lunchtime conversation. Practice what you preach and be careful about the certain things that you say. That even goes for even when you be on social media as well. Not just going back and forth, physically talking to someone. That also goes with social media as well. There are certain things that you could put out there, even on social media, where you be literally using God's name in vain. Where you putting in negative things about certain people. Another word or phrase for this could be slander. Yes, being slanderous is another form of using God's name in vain. Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is. So, yes, I want to encourage y'all to do not use God's name in vain in this matter. Practice what you preach. Absolutely do your best to be the best version of yourself. Absolutely practice to be a good stewardship, not only with your personal circle, but also with the people who are in your outside circle as well. Now, y'all may be looking and also looking at this and saying that urban, come on, man. You know that sometimes there are bad people that are out there. Absolutely, I agree with that. There are certain people who whole intent out there is to do bad and to do harm. I understand that. But once again, that comes with wisdom and understanding where you vet these certain people. Just because certain people are bad or may want to do certain things to slander you or to do harm towards you, that doesn't mean at the end of the day that you have to be that same bad person as well. Keep in mind that it's nothing wrong with communicating the certain bad or certain harm that that person did towards you. There's nothing wrong with that. You should do that. But at the end of the day, you have to make a choice to want to be greater than that, to be the example of that. This is the reason why a lot of people who know me, this is the reason why that I do my very best to practice what I preach. I do my very best to be a living stewardship towards people. It ain't about me, being a quote unquote goody two shoe or trying to be this quote unquote super higher perfect guy. It is that I do my very best to be a living example towards people, even for myself. Not to prove that I can do this, not to gain favor towards people or even God himself. I do it because I want to do that. Because I know that it's a need for people out there like myself, especially in the times that we're living in right now, where it's real hard to trust people these days because you don't know people's intent these days. I get it. I understand it. But even within that, I choose to be the greater light or to be the greater light towards people. So once again, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in to this lunchtime conversation. I appreciate everyone who's tuning in right now on TikTok. I appreciate you tuning in. I also appreciate everyone else who are tuning in, who are watching me on YouTube, who are watching me on Facebook, and watching me on Twitter as well. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Now, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this conversation. Like I always, y'all continue to fight fate with faith, and just practice your very best to not use God's name in vain. All right, peace.